Hi, everyone. This is Christopher Kai. I am beyond excited to share with you this free online workshop called How to Travel the World as a Professional Speaker and Make $30,000, 30G, baby, per speech. You guys with me? With minimal speaking experience. Now, before I begin, first I want to see where everyone's from and make sure your sound is good and your video is good. So please type in the chat box, where are you all from? I live in Beverly Hills. Born and raised in New York City, but type in the chat box where you're all from. Make sure your sound is good. So first, just say if you can hear me, please put yes, 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 yes in the comments in the chat box. Cool. Yes, 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 yes. Adam says yes. Okay, awesome. And now, where are you all from? Pedro is from California. What's up, Pedro? Liz is from Florida. Oh, I love Florida. I love Miami. Meredith's from California. Shannon is from Switzerland. Cool. What's going on? Tammy is from Australia. Awesome, 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 awesome. All right, great. So everyone has good sound. Let's jump right in and start this fun ride, this fun adventure. So first, who is this for? Because I want to really value your time and respect your time. So I want to make sure that what you're learning is really relevant to you and your life. So if you own a business where you're offering training, courses, events, products, or consultant services, this is for you. If you are an author or an aspiring author who wants to get paid to speak and travel the world, this is for you. I meet so many people that write books or they want to write books and they want to monetize. They have the creative side, but they don't understand the business side. This is for you. If you're sick and tired of your day job and you want to create a business to help people, this is for you. 87% of people I've heard from a Gallup poll don't like their jobs, are disinterested, or hate their jobs. You don't want to be that life. You don't want to live that life. I used to live a life in New York City, and it's a horrible existing. So this is for you. If you want to create your own company, you can do it. Also, it's for people who are already speakers or coaches who, though you're doing it, you always know and wonder, you know what, Chris, I think I deserve more money, and I believe you do. And so if you haven't cracked the $10,000 per speech code, this is also for you. If you're an executive with a lot of experience, but you want to speak more or travel more, this is for you. And lastly, this is for you if you are a small business, you're struggling with leads and clients, and if you speak, you have the highest probability to generate leads, sales, referrals, investors, business partners, fans, followers, anyone essentially you want, this is for you. Because the typical thing we do to network is that we go to an event, you get excited, and you get all these business cards. And then what happens to these business cards? Right in the chat box, you go to home, you get these business cards. What happens to these business cards after you get them, after you go to these events? Adam says nothing. That's right. I mean, literally, right in the chat box, all of you probably think it's not really the most effective way, right? Just type in yes, 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 yes if you agree with what I'm saying. Yes, it really is, unfortunately, a waste of time. Meredith says that it's just gathering dust. It's a great dust collector. It's true. That's why I call speaking next level networking. It's just a great way. Now, who is this also for? I wrote this book, a #1 bestseller on Amazon, about teaching you how to network and connect with people. So I dedicated that book as I'm dedicating this presentation to you for anyone who's ever felt like an outsider. And really, it's for anyone that has a story. You have this powerful story that you should be sharing with the world, but beyond that, you want to monetize from that. Why wouldn't you want to get paid and share your story? Because you have the best of both worlds. So what will you learn from this workshop? You'll learn secret #1, which is how do you travel? How do you inspire people around the world, travel for free, make 6 or 7 figures per year, and really inspire millions online and offline, even if you're afraid of public speaking. Secret #2 is how do you speak at a Fortune 500 company like Google or American Express or New York Life without having an in or great networking skills. And lastly, secret #3, big secret, is how do you avoid the biggest mistake almost every single speaker makes when they're trying to close speaking gigs for over $10,000. That's really like the kind of the marquee thing. Now, before I jump in even more, I just want you to know who I am a little bit. Forbes has recognized me as an international speaker and an international speaker and a best-selling author. I've been featured on Forbes not just once, but twice. Such a big honor. There's me and my boy, Richie, Mr. Richard Branson. Good dude. Speaking experience, I've given over 1,000 presentations over the last 15, 16, 17 years. I've spoken at Fortune 100 companies like Google, New York Life, and American Express. That's me at Google before I spoke with a big smile on my face. If you ever have a chance to go to the Google headquarters, it's an amazing and inspiring experience. Inc. magazine has also mentioned that I am a networking expert and a billionaire networker. The article writer was so impressed that I convinced Elon Musk, the real Iron Man, to come to the worst part of town where I interviewed him. So super, super, super excited that I have had this recognition from these esteemed publications. Now, we've all heard that phrase, it's not what you know, but who you know. And when you get to meet people and go to these events and be a speaker, it's crazy. You can meet a president like President Clinton or Richie, what I call Uncle Richie, or Elon Musk, or John Paul DeJorio holding up our peace signs. He created Patron Tequila and John Paul Mitchell Hair Care. Diana Nyad, oh my gosh, she's one of the most inspiring people in the world. She's the only person in human history, 7.6 million human beings, and she's the only person to swim from Cuba to Miami, 111 miles, 54 hours, and she did it at the tender age of 64. So anytime you feel doubtful, you think you're too old, you think you're too short, look at Diana Nyad's story because she's so inspiring. And lastly, one of my most inspiring entrepreneurs that I look up to is Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos, who's created Amazon and bought Whole Foods and Washington Post, so inspiring. Here's something a little bit about myself. I only got paid $50. My first paid speech, I got paid $50. My last one, I got paid 30 grand. Now, the thing is with speaking is you get a 50% non-refundable deposit, and then you get 50% when you get on stage or you get to the venue. So I'm letting you know from the very get-go, from the very beginning of this presentation that you might think, well, Chris, can I really do it? Remember, I got paid $50 for my first speech, so wherever you are, I've had many clients make a lot more on their first speech than I have, but I'm letting you know from where I began to where I am now, because I'm always very grateful. And I actually keep a copy of this check in my wallet to remind myself of how far I've come, but how far you can definitely go quicker with this great presentation that it's taken me a long time to do. So on the left, you see me towering over no one. Tell me this is not being very vulnerable. That was my 8th grade graduation, and I was 4'10". 8th grade graduation, but somehow I figured out how to meet and interview Elon Musk, where he said, and I was talking to a buddy of mine actually, it's funny, he's like, I've never heard anyone get complimented by Elon Musk, and Elon Musk actually said, wow, you know a lot. So I'm sharing this story with you is because, you know, we always sometimes forget where someone is, and you have to kind of backtrack and say, look, I'm letting you know where I'm coming from because I had so many different challenges and whatnot, and if I made it, you can make it. I was punished for talking too much in class. Can you imagine that literally my first memory in school was my teachers, a person of authority, pulling me aside saying, Christopher, stop talking, yelling at me sometimes, being frustrated, and having me write out when I'm talking in class hundreds of times after class. They also labeled me as having a reading disability, being a slow learner. And lastly, like I said, being short is really tough. So much so that, because if you're a girl and you're short, you know, you can wear heels, it's no big deal. If you're a guy and you're short, it's really tough. Here are some actual graduation book writings from my friends. These are actually friends of mine. And Bob's like, oh, he hopes to see me roaming around in school and high school. And Ray's calling me a dwarf. But the classic, the clincher is this. Noel, a good buddy of mine, and I actually sent this and texted this to my friend from elementary school and high school. he's like, Tu Ching, keep eating those vitamins and you'll grow. Be patient. I'm like, dude, check this out. You actually even spell my name right. And he denied it. He's like, no, Chris, I didn't say that. I'm like, no, I think you said that. That's your handwriting. That was his nickname. So, but it's all good. But I mean, just type in the chat box. I mean, doesn't it feel horrible to be teased? But that's not just to be teased by anyone, but your own friends, your own good friends. And so just keep that in mind that, you know, don't let your past failures determine your future success. I'm going to say that again. Don't let your past failures determine your future successes. And I'll show you myself, like I said, going back to being vulnerable. Then I got punished for talking in class. Now I get paid to talk. Then I was physically ill when I spoke in high school. I would literally have my stomach churning. I'd pace back and forth. My palms are sweaty. Now I feel the most peace when I speak. Then I froze up when I was in college. I had this 800-person audience, and I just choked. Now, I've never felt more free when I'm on stage. Then I got fired from my first full-time job as a college graduate for a lack of motivation. And can you believe now I have so many people around the world that say I'm so motivating. I talk about motivation. I don't really talk about it, but people get motivated, but I really stress the methodology of the speaking and the business side and the sales. And lastly, remember, I got paid $50 for my first speech. Now I got paid over $30,000 for my last speech, and that only keeps going higher because the more demand there is for me for my speaking services, the higher the price point goes. So to summarize, at one point, someone might have said to you something that hurt you, and now you don't believe in yourself. And I'm telling you, look, please believe in yourself. I am not like the biggest fan of sharing all these vulnerabilities, because who really wants to share these scars? You're pulling off these scabs. It's really painful, really, right? But I want you to know that if I can do it, if I was teased and punished and bullied, and now here I am traveling the world. Like last year alone, I traveled to close to 100,000 miles to 24 cities in 10 countries. I was in Australia and Lithuania, like all these crazy places. So if I can do it, you can do it. Keep that in mind, okay? So stay till the end, and I'll tell you the one simple question. Really, life can be so simple, that I use to secure my $30,000 paycheck. So again, stay till the end, stay till the end, stay till the end, because I will tell you that one simple question. Now, speaking defined, public speaking isn't just about speaking in front of an audience anymore, because when that very term was created, we didn't even have social media. We didn't have the internet. So I want you to know that when I say public speaking, it could be in front of a stage like I am there in front of 5,000 people at the biggest fintech conference in the world in Vegas, or it could be like Dragana here, who is speaking to the public, but it's online. She's all concerned and afraid. She has a program. She's a coach. She's a phenomenal person. She had 2,400 views, and she's sitting in her living room and 200 plus likes. So public speaking isn't just speaking in front of an actual physical audience, but now in the social media world, in the online world, it's just amazing how many people can inspire sitting at your couch, literally at home. Now, to give you a little overview of the speaking landscape, I know we have a lot of clients because I know people are from all around the world, but just know that in the US, you have the National Speakers Association, one of the top organizations in the world. And even if you don't live in New York or live in LA or live in Miami or live in the US, you have a lot of resources that you refer to them because they cater to a lot of people around the world. And frankly, I think all entrepreneurs, all business owners should be a speaker. So there's 27.9 million speakers in the US. I'm sorry, 29.9 million business owners in the US. I want them to all be speakers. And there's probably over 100 million small business owners in the world. And all of them should be actual speakers. And this is why. I already kind of shared with you before the prestige of it, but I'm going to walk you through 10 reasons why every entrepreneur should be a speaker. The first one is immediate credibility. Tell me this, right in the chat box. You know, you go to an event, you don't have to even question the person's credibility on stage, because if they're on stage, there's a reason, right? So you get immediate credibility. Type in the chat box, yes, 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 or no. Let me know if you agree with me. Type in the chat, do you agree with me? Yes? Awesome. Pedro says yes. Matt says yes. Shannon, awesome. You know, again, it really is immediate credibility. The next one is lead generation. I don't have issues with getting leads. I generate leads all the time because when I'm speaking, it's almost like a freaking ATM machine of leads. It's crazy. Next is you're a VIP. You have that badge. It's really kind of baller, you know. You really are treated like a VIP. It's amazing. C-level networking. Let me give you an example. That picture I showed you before, it was like 11,000 people for the entire audience, entire conference for 4 days. But C-level networking means like chief executive officers, chief marketing officers. I get to go into the green room. I'm talking to like the chairman of Yelp, the CEO of PayPal, the youngest self-made billionaire, John Collison from Stripe. It's like crazy. That's what I call C-level networking. And imagine again, the opportunity you get for that. You get to travel the world for free because your clients pay you to get on the flight, oftentimes business class or first class. And so one of the most amazing and favorite things that my clients love talking about when they do become speakers is like, Chris, I love the fact that I don't have to have these pile of business cards anymore. And I'm like, yep, we have this smiling face, reassuring face, and we just have this, what's up? We know it. Yeah, yeah, It's really cool. So burn away those pile of wasted business cards. Next, you actually save money. You know, why would you want to pay thousands of dollars for conferences? And some conferences cost even more than that when you can be a speaker, and where even if they don't pay you a fee, they comp you the ticket. You can make money, which I showed you the check before, 30G for one check. I mean, it's crazy, right? And most importantly, really, it's to inspire others. You know, all this stuff we talk about, if your life is not about inspiring others, why are we here? You know, it's really important. And lastly, As a speaker, as I said before, you have the highest probability of success. And what I mean by that is that there are no guarantees in life, you know? But if you are going to an event and you have a lot of business cards, but as a speaker, there's 100 people there, you have the highest probability because you're on that stage with all this instant credibility. Now let's look at some of these most admired companies on the Fortune list, right? If you look at this list, oh, surprise, surprise. Every single leader on this list, whether it's Steve Jobs from Apple, who obviously unfortunately passed away, or Jeff Bezos from Amazon, Alphabet is the new name for Google. But what I'm saying is every single one of these leaders from the most admired companies in the world are speakers. Oh, and surprise, surprise, they're billionaires. Hello. So not only is speaking reputable and C-level networking, you look at other people that are successful, there's a reason why. You look at Walt Disney. I was just in Tivoli Gardens in Copenhagen, and Walt Disney got inspired by Tivoli Gardens, one of the oldest amusement parks in the world, and that inspired Disneyland. I mean, think about that story, right? It's so cool. Now here, Mr. Warren Buffett, I call him Uncle Warren, like I all call Uncle Richie. This is my thing. I mean, you know, come on, just give me some love here. Don't you like calling him Warren, Uncle Warren, like anyone, you know? You know, Tammy, yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, no, it's just cool. Just again, anytime you want to share your comments or you feel you want to laugh, just say ha ha ha, laugh a lot, LOL, you know, type in the comments, LOL. LOL. We get LOL from Sweden. All right, cool. But anyway, I digress. So Warren Buffett, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, said, whether you like it or not, get comfortable with public speaking because it is an asset that'll last you 50 to 60 years. And in his case, it's actually lasted him 67 years because he started when he was 20 years old. But I want to stress this. It's a liability if you don't speak well, but it's a necessity if you want to be successful. And I want to stress that again. Liability if you don't speak well, necessity if you want to be a successful entrepreneur. As I said before, it's very, very profitable to be a speaker. If you're just in kind of an industry speaker or an average presenter, you might make $2,500 or $1,000. So for me, going back to what I said before, I wasn't even on this list. Or maybe you want to make $1,000 or $4,000 or $10,000 or $25,000. There's a different scale to this. But these are some checks that I've made. Sometimes, let's say I got paid 15 grand, I'll just ask them for 10 grand. You always want to ask for as upfront as much as possible. And you don't necessarily want to just stay focused on the US or on your own country. If your own country and the corporations that are there that don't pay you, well, go somewhere else. Like this is a Saudi Arabia presentation that I secured, 20G. And then this is the one I showed you before where 30G, they give you a 50% non-refundable. And it's because if you lock down a date to speak there and you've committed to that, you sign a contract, if you lock down a date, you can't go to somewhere else. So it's non-refundable because you're telling them, look, you booked me for that date. I'm a speaker. It's a performance for me. Therefore, non-refundable. Great thing. They pay you literally before you even step onto stage or go anywhere. And this is the thing. Remember, I stressed this. I started at $50. It was literally off the charts. It wasn't even on this, this actual like what do speakers charge. Now I'm at the marquee level. It's fun as heck. I mean, here I am. I spoke at a network marketing group in Australia, and then afterwards I was just hamming around. This is in front of the Sydney Opera House. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. On the left, I am in Lithuania. On the right, I was in Zurich, Switzerland. So beautiful. And as I stressed before, yes, traveling is fun. Yes, making money is fun. All of it is cool, but really the most important thing about speaking is you get to inspire people with your story. You know, Tammy is like giving me all these awesome examples how she got invited to speak, and Mona is saying how, you know, I'm helping people fulfill their destiny and their purpose. And Albert, I mean, these are all clients of mine where it's like Albert was just saying how, you know, he had this really strong fear, but really he just never would have believed it otherwise. And I get these random emails and Facebooks and Instagram, and the guy on the left-hand side, since he's not a client, I want to be respectful of his privacy, that I love what he said. He said, you know, first, Tai Lopez, as many of you might know, like he's like one of the most well-known how-to gurus in the world. He has like over 1 billion views, but I spoke at one of his conferences recently, and this man said, I defiantly opened up new avenues of thought where he is understanding how to approach money and relationships. So again, you don't even know how much you inspire people because sometimes they'll tell you, sometimes they won't. But it's one of the most amazing things when you become a speaker. And if you stress that and focus on that, you'll be so much less concerned about your fears of speaking. Now, here are some myths that I hear all the time. all the time I hear these myths on being a paid speaker, and I want to be very clear. This is me teaching you how to be a paid speaker, not just to be a good speaker, but a paid speaker. So many people might say, oh, I need to, Chris, I get what you're saying, but I really need to be a great speaker. I really need to hone my skills. I need to be an author first. And you know what? That's not true. Elon Musk, I've met him, I interviewed him. He's a brilliant guy, but not the best speaker. You got to be honest, right? This guy, Eckhart Tolle, if you've read The New Earth or The Power of Now, I remember watching him speak, and Oprah Winfrey, she's like, our next speaker is the Mick Jagger of spirituality. And everyone's like, rah! And I'm like all excited because I've never heard him speak before. I've read some of his books or glanced through them. And then he gets on the stage and starts speaking really like this and very somber. And I'm like, if you can't hear me right now, it's because I'm trying to be like Eckhart Tolle. But I literally, I kid you not, I fell asleep. So when Oprah Winfrey was like, the Mick Jagger of spirituality, sorry, Oprah, I fell asleep. And lastly, this gentleman, Stephen Hawking, one of the most famous astrophysicists in the world, he can't even talk. So burn away, erase, delete that myth that you need to be a great speaker first, because all these three individuals get paid a lot of money to talk, but it's not because they're great speakers. So you don't have to be a great speaker. You need to be a good speaker with a great message. So remember that. Remember that. And here's another. This is actually a client of mine. Ellen, English wasn't even her first language. She actually gets these trolls telling her, oh, you have horrible English, but Ellen don't care because Ellen goes to the back, laughing to the back because she's a speaker now. She said how I inspired her. She makes a lot of money, over $1 million as a speaker, as a coach. It's just really, really inspiring. So you don't have to be a great speaker. It's such a myth. Do you need to write a book? Here's a client. She's only 21 years old. She spoke at IKEA, one of the most renowned brands in the world, and she doesn't have a book yet. She teaches people how to market to millennials, so she gets hired by corporations where she teaches her expertise of marketing to millennials. Sometimes people think, oh, Chris, it really takes a lot of years to build credibility. Well, here is one of our clients, Adam. This guy, in a few months, was able to get all these different features because I taught him how to do this stuff. So it doesn't take years to build credibility. And lastly, many people say, well, Chris, I'm not sure if people will like my interests or what I coach about or what I talk about. I'm like, you know what? Look, here's one of my clients. His name is Dave. This guy makes, this one says $17,000, but I think he's up to like $90,000 where he teaches an online course on how to sell used iPhones, So remember what I said before, public speaking is speaking in front of an audience, a physical audience, but also online. And if you can sell someone a program on how to sell used iPhones, really what I'm essentially saying is there's so many opportunities. As long as you have something to share with someone and you speak well, because it's about branding and salesmanship and psychology. It's not about your interest or your topic. It's really about finding people that can mentor and coach you on how to monetize that topic, that story, right? So don't worry about these myths because people don't believe in them. Now, so many of the clients I've worked with, whether they're in marketing, e-commerce, they want to scale up business, hypnosis. If you look at this list, there's like dozens of various people in various verticals I've worked with, and it runs the whole gamut because it's really about one simple thing. That simple thing is this. The bottom line is, as long as you, the speaker, has a solution for someone's problem, you get to be paid as a speaker. So I want to stress that again. As long as you have a solution for someone's problem, you will be a paid speaker. And that's the single most important thing I want you to sear into your head and let you sink into that process, because it's about the business side of speaking, which is why so many of my clients are just so amazed, okay? All right. Are you ready to learn the 3 secrets that I'm going to share with you in this webinar, in this amazing presentation? So type in the chat box. Yes, yes, yes. Please type yes. Show me some love, please. Are you ready? Awesome, awesome, awesome. Sherry says yes. Awesome. Thank you so much for the love. I love this. I love this. I love this. Tim says yes. Ed says yes. Sharon, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's jump right in. So first secret is, how do you travel the world for free? Make 6 or 7 figures per year, baby. Inspire millions with your story, even if you're afraid of public speaking. And remember, now in the digital world, as I showed you before, Dragana on her first Facebook Live had 2,000 plus views. She can already be inspiring thousands of people. It's crazy, right? Just from one Facebook Live. So let's talk about this fear, okay? Here's an actual psychologist that talks about the fact that back in the day, we had bigger predators that tried to eat us. Therefore, we had to be in a tribe, be with our family, be with our friends, because we had a higher probability of literally being eaten or being hurt or dying, frankly, if we were ostracized, we were by ourselves, which is why there's a part of our brain called the amygdala, the fight or flight response, where it's the fear thing, where back then, yes, we had to be afraid, but now if you get on stage and even if you mess up, who cares? We don't have to be afraid to be eaten by a large predator. So I want you to know that it's such a useless type of fear to have because it's unnecessary. We have that just in a reptilian brain, but it's absolutely unnecessary. The aha moment I had was when you stop focusing on your inner fears and you focus on the impact that you make on your audience. I am telling you, it's a insanely titanic mind shift. It'll be so much more powerful. And I'm going to put this slide up again about how the most important thing about speaking is inspiring others. If you know that all these people in the audience are going to be inspired by you, are going to be just uplifted and helped, and you're going to just literally change your life, will you be more scared? No. And I would always tell myself, the first time I wrote my first book, all I said to myself is, you know what? I just want one reader to say one comment that's inspiring, that I changed their life. And thankfully, I've had so many people saying like I'm inspiring, and it's great because that's just how I had the same feeling, adulation for these speakers that I saw. And now that I'm getting hundreds and thousands of people saying the same thing, it's like, it's crazy how many people come up to me and all around the country and world. It's amazing. So just remember, it's about making a difference, whether I'm in Australia, meeting clients in Australia, or Peter, who's going to Kenya, or one of our clients, Ernest, who literally just sent an email saying, brother, thank you so much for understanding. And, he literally says, you have no idea. He says, like, I think you might have some idea, Chris, about how life-changing you are, but I really don't think how amazing, and he stresses, like, with bold point, amazing, how much of a life-changer you are. And again, I'm really, really, really blessed to make a difference, but you can do. Remember, this is about you, your life. I'm literally just creating a vision board. Like my life, as one of my clients said, is a vision board. So when you see me, just see yourself there, because this is you in the future, in the not so near future. So the single biggest reason why now is the best time, not a better time and a good time, but the best time to be a speaker is, remember, public speaking in the past used to be speaking in a public, in a big fashion, whether in front of 100, 200 people, but now when you have the online world, a place like Facebook, where it only started about 10 plus years ago, you can reach 2 billion people. That's like almost like a third of the world. It's crazy. And remember Dragana? Facebook Live only started a few years ago. And so this is why it's so crazy, where if you say you're afraid, you say, Chris, I'm really afraid, but I don't care. That's not an excuse anymore. You can literally be in your pajamas at home and staring at a computer screen, and you can still speak publicly online, and you can reach so many people. It's just crazy. So just appreciate the fact that we literally, if you look at sapiens, Homo sapiens, we've been around in our current state for about 200,000 years, but it's really like the last 20 years, like this internet thing. But literally, 99.99% of people in the world pretty much were poor, dirt poor, but we are so lucky, like we're winning the lottery to be that 0.01%, to be in this time with not just internet, but with social media and the ability to interact and communicate and really touch someone. It's just so crazy that when you're online, you just touch people from all around the world. I mean, I literally, at Tai Lopez, I was speaking, and this woman walked up to me and was like, oh my gosh, Chris, I loved your Facebook Live when I was in Barcelona, or I was at a conference in Texas, and Tammy walks up to me and said, oh, Chris, I loved when you spoke in Miami. And the craziest thing was I was in Barcelona, like 6,000 miles away, and I walk off the plane, and this woman walks up to me and is like, Christopher Kai? I'm like, yeah. It's Elaine, I mean, I'm one of your clients, your online clients. I'm like, what, really? I'm like, awesome, But just recognize how unique of a time we're living in now. Here are actual example of clients where Jesse's in Canada making a difference, helping people in real estate. Dragan is all around the world. I don't even know where she is. And Ellen, I think the last time I saw her, maybe I was in Lithuania, I'm not sure. And so travel the world or stay home, what I call naked from the waist down. Give me some props. Please give me some love on the chat box. If you think that's funny, just put LOL or ha ha ha. Okay, Brian says ha ha, cool. Thank you so much for giving me love. Louis, thanks so much for giving me love. Linda, yeah, but what I mean by that is I'm wearing a shirt, a collar shirt above the waist, but I can literally be like naked, or I can be like wearing boxers, whatever it might be. But I'm saying we live in a world where we're so lucky. We're so lucky, so lucky, so lucky. So just please appreciate that whether you want to travel the world or stay home, like what I do sometimes in Beverly Hills, in my home office. It's just fun. We just live in an amazing world. It's an adventure, okay? So that was secret number one. Hopefully you got some value in that. Please type in the chat box. If you got some value in this presentation so far, type in the chat box, yes. Okay, yes, yes. I see a lot of yeses. Yes, 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 yes. Oh my gosh. You know, this is so cool. This is so cool. So secret number two, how to speak at a Fortune 500 company like Google, American Express, and New York Life without having an in or having great networking skills. So the secret is this. First, let's describe and walk through what even a Fortune 500 company is and why, because it's really about branding, right? So when you can speak there, it just creates this amazing brand because, again, remember how many times people look at brands and they like look at that as like, wow, why does the iPhone cost more than something that's called maybe an O phone? Like I've never heard of an O phone. That's because I just created that, right? But look at all these Fortune 500 companies. And if you want to speak there, it's really simple. Here's one of the quickest life hacks ever to speak at a Fortune 500 company. You first understand where they are. Let's say in Berkshire Hathaway, they own real estate companies. Let's say you're in the US. You can try this for other companies in the world too. The point is, Berkshire Hathaway has many of these small locations. So many realtors ask for weekly trainers, whether in mindset and sales and follow-up and discipline. So you have to just literally go to a Fortune 500 company, Google them, find out their office, and just say, hey, I'm a speaker. In my case, let's say I speak about how to be a better speaker to get more clients. So I would just say, I would love to teach your agents on how to position yourself as a speaker in order to get more clients. You know, I essentially help them shorten their sales cycle. They probably like that. And therefore, even though I might not be paid for that, but as soon as I walk into the Berkshire Hathaway office at a real estate company and give a speech, I could already say I've spoken at a Fortune 500 company. It could be literally that simple. Many of you are like, oh my gosh, Chris, that's mind-blowing, but it really is that simple where to get paid at one, it's harder, but the speaker one is much easier. You don't need it in. You don't have to have great networking skills. All you have to do is use your little pretty fingers, 10 fingers, Google Fortune 500 company, and wherever you live. And the real estate industry or insurance is usually the best too. If you look at Farmers Insurance or Berkshire Hathaway, that's usually the kind of the best one. If you're outside the US, just first Google the Fortune 500 companies, find out which one has an office closest to you, and literally just cold call them or email them, but it's really that simple. So just keep that in mind, okay? So now why is it important to speak at a Fortune 500 company? Let's say you look at me, you see me, you're like, oh, wow, Christopher, you're a cool speaker. But if you see me speaking at Google, that's like, whoa, you already assume that I make a lot of money, and I do, which I'm grateful for, but that's what I'm teaching you about. And then Dragana, though she talks about inner peace and meditation and transformation, she helps business owners really break through some of these things that they have dealt with for a long time. But as soon as you see that she has spoken at Farmers Insurance, which is a Fortune 500 company, which I helped her with, or WeWork, which is what they call a unicorn valued at $1 billion, or Union Rescue Commission is one of the biggest homeless shelter in the country. When you see that, it adds instant credibility. She also used to be a former professional tennis player. She used to work at Nestle. But what I'm saying is, though she's teaching about transformation and meditation, inner peace, she has all this amazing credibility by speaking at these places, and that's why you get to get the higher price points. So keep that in mind, okay? So last, final secret. Y'all having a good time? Type yes if you are. Cool. Michelle says yes. Again, if you have benefited from the secrets 1 and 2. Matt says yes. Awesome. Marianne says yes. Thank you so much. Anna says yes. Justine says yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. So the final secret is this: how to avoid the biggest mistake almost every speaker makes when trying to close speaking gigs for over $10,000. Remember, that's kind of like like really, if you're making $10,000 for a speech, that's pretty baller. I mean, I gotta say, right? Wouldn't you agree? You know, so just remember that it's a hard thing to do, but I figured it out, and I'm gonna teach you. So, you know, have you heard of the phrase, oh, you have to work the room? You know, I meet people all the time. Oh, Chris, I'm really good at working the room. I'm like, okay, great. You know what? Guess what? I'm sorry, but the actual truth, working the room is a waste of time if you're in the wrong room. You know, I'll stress that again. Working in the room is a waste of time if you're in the wrong room, okay? I already see people in the chat box like, oh my gosh, you know, Chris, you're right. You know, I see that, you know. So working in the room is a waste of time in the wrong room because If you're working in the wrong room, you're meeting the wrong people, the people that can't hire you and pay you $10,000, okay? The wrong rooms, for example, are free events, local events, convenient events, carbon copy events, or same level of employment, meaning if you are a assistant vice president or a vice president and everyone you meet there is a vice president but at a small company, well, you might need to meet a president or a managing director, you know? Or if you're an analyst trying to make $10,000 and you meet everyone else as an analyst or a new employee, you're not gonna get there. Carbon copy is, I don't know why lawyers go to networking events with other lawyers, or realtors go to networking events, because it's like you're already just becoming a carbon copy, like a photocopy. That's not good. And a lot of times, especially in Los Angeles, what I see is like they just go to the most convenient place, a local place, or free because it's good, so they feel busy. But that's just unfortunate because they're not going to get the places or the people that are going to pay you big bucks to have you speak. So the right rooms are this. The right rooms are paid events. You have to make investments. I'm going to tell you this. You know, a lot of people, they don't accept the laws of nature. If you don't make investments of your time and money, you will never be successful in anything. Remember that. You have to pay. You have to make investments. Global-minded events, because the more global thinking they are, the more budgets they generally have. You have to be uncomfortable. You have to meet more executives and entrepreneurs and go to Beverly Hills type opportunities. And what I mean by that is some people say, well, Chris, I don't live in Beverly Hills like you do. Well, I get that. But is there a Beverly Hills type area that you can go to a 5-star hotel, sit at the bar, go to the restaurant, or even just sit at the bar, spend $10 on a drink. And you may say, oh my God, there's a lot of money, Chris. Well, do you spend $10 on a movie? You know, what I'm saying is you have to go to where they are, meet people that understand that money is power. And people that have the budget to hire you are in those places. Let me give you very, very specific examples. What my clients love about me is I give them so much detail, like, oh my gosh, Chris knows his stuff. He's not about just motivation. He's about methodology. It's a big difference, right? This is a conference I speak at every year, and it costs $1,000 to go. But oh, surprise, surprise. That's where I met my client that paid me $30,000. And I also met a client there that paid me $5,000, which I minimized her rates. It was for principals in Alaska. But what I'm saying is I went to there. And the first thing you might be saying to me is, well, I don't have $1,000. Well, sometimes you must make investments, but other times, in this case, you can actually volunteer at some of these conferences, okay? Milken Conference, this one cost $12,500. Hope Global Forum, where I spoke at, I met the executive at this Milken Conference. And then lastly, the Clinton Global Initiative, which is now defunct now, but that cost $20,000. That's former President Clinton's conference in New York. But here's the thing, like I said, you can volunteer there. So if you're not aware of these rooms to go into, where here was where we met Richard Branson and Frank Dusher, like all these crazy, amazing, successful people. So if you're not in the right room, you will never get the price points that you deserve as a speaker or coach. I just give you a few examples. When you get into the right rooms, where I said before, the main mistake is going to the wrong rooms and meeting the wrong people. The right people are meeting president level, right? You have Lance, who's a president, division president. You have Mary, who's the president of the Alaska States. But again, these are both clients of mine and testimonials. And not only do you get to speak, it's just so fun to meet people. Like, let's say that is Dr. King's daughter, who manages the King Center. Now, for those of you who are not American, you know, Dr. King, Martin Luther King Jr. was one of the most iconic civil rights leaders in the world. That's Michael Milken, who created the Milken Conference. That's, as I said to you, Uncle Richie. That's President Clinton. And or you can create your own room. You know, I created a homeless youth program in the worst part of town, and I invited other people like Elon Musk to my room. So it's cool. Now, granted, I did that for charity, but it's just cool to do good things. Okay. So just a quick review of the various secrets that I went over for your future success. Again, this is all about you and how you can be successful and inspiring and making a lot of money and helping a lot of people. So the secrets to success number one is travel the world for free, make 6 or 7 figures per year, and inspire millions with your story, even if you're afraid of public speaking. Secret number two is how do you speak at a Fortune 500 company, which is really just Google the company in your area. And the best way is to look for realtors like a Berkshire Hathaway. That example had 45 states. If you're not in the US, just look for a big company that's Fortune 500 company in there, and that's the same concept, you know? And lastly, really make sure you're in the right rooms, because if you're in the wrong room, you're gonna meet the wrong people, and you're gonna get a very low paycheck, okay? So you have two choices. You have two simple choices. The first choice is become a global speaker. Like, how cool and inspiring is it if you're on that stage and you're inspiring thousands of people? Or I just like showing this picture, or travel the world, or stay home naked from the waist down. Frankly, you don't have to even choose because you can do both, okay? Just remember, we live in a world which is crazy. And here's the thing. There's 375 million people, according to the CNN article, by 2030, that their jobs will be automated. Now, you might think, oh, I'm not an Uber driver, a Lyft driver. I'm like, you know what? Doctors and accountants and lawyers, some of the more esteemed jobs might also be automated too. But I want you to know, if you look over here, the McKinsey Global Institute, they say, you know what? We have to think more and grow more and train more throughout our careers because we can't just go to school anymore. And the great news is, wait for it. The great news is, drum roll. The great news is speaking cannot be automated. So the beauty of life is speaking can't be automated. So it doesn't matter. Like, these trends are going crazy. 375 million people, that's like the entire country of the United States. It's actually more. But speaking can't be automated. So you'll be rest assured that when you are a speaker, you're going to have some crazy, amazing opportunities. It doesn't matter where you are. So again, what are you going to choose? Choice number one, choice number two. Now, let me ask you a question. If you could learn the exact steps that took me from getting punished in school for talking to interviewing billionaire Elon Musk and then speaking in front of 5,000 people on stage, would that interest you? Would that interest you? I already got people in the chat box. Awesome. Amanda says it would. Yes. Eric, yes. Nick says yes. Hell yes, says Alan. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let me ask another question. If there's a way that you can go from never speaking before to eventually getting paid up to $30,000 per speech, would that interest you? Again, type in the chat. I just love how people are so quick. It's like they almost have their fingers on the keyboard. So awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is amazing. This is amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay, cool. So I'm very, very, very excited to introduce you to my program. My program that Forbes has said helps entrepreneurs become professional speakers. It's such an amazing honor. It's called GPS for short, but it stands for the Gifted Professional Speaker Program. You all have a story to share. It's a gift to the world. And if you don't share it, you are literally cheating the world from your gift. But I want to stress the professional part. You can be a great speaker, as I said before, but if you don't understand the professional aspect of it, the business side, the sales, the psychology, the branding part, you will never get paid what you're worth. And that really eats at me. I meet all these people in the world. They're like, Chris, please help me. I'm like, awesome, make an investment. Like, oh, but I'm like, look, just remember, you have to remember to make investments of your time and money. And I created this program because I wish I had this program. This is based on so much years of experience. So I love for you to learn more about it right now. And again, just so blessed to be featured in Forbes. It's such an honor. I mean, Forbes is like the Harvard of publications. It's based on 15 years plus experience, where I summarize into 5 simple steps. You really want to just keep things simple. And it's based on being recognized as a best-selling author and networking expert, because really, you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't know how to network and connect, then how are you going to get those crazy opportunities, right? I've given over 1,000 presentations to a global audience from 30 countries. And I've just been so honored and blessed. The Amazon rankings change literally every hour, but I was #1 in the small business category at one point. It's just a great honor. Now, simple step number 1. You know, so many of us want details. I'm going to give you details. 5 simple modules. Simple step number 1 is this. What you will learn is how to make your audience faint, faint in seconds so that they want to hire you as soon as you walk off stage. Now, it's so crazy. I give speeches all the time. My clients give speeches all the time. And the clients are so shocked. That gentleman that I mentioned to you before, Peter, he literally, someone walked up to him. I gave him the one question I told you wait till the end. I gave him that question. He literally spoke in Kenya because of that question. It was so crazy, right? Step number 2 is write a one-of-a-kind bio. What I often see is the same generic, I'm an author, I'm a speaker. It's so boring. It's like you're just not being unique and original. So how do you write a one-of-a-kind bio that instantly builds credibility no matter who else is in the room? When I met Elon Musk, I met Chris Martin and Gwyneth Paltrow and Oliver Stone. Like, all of it didn't matter because I was the only person that had a one-of-a-kind bio, which is what I teach my clients in this program. And next and last is be 22 times more memorable with your message, because stories are 22 times more memorable so that other people remember you for years. I have people literally coming at me like 2, 3, 4 years later. They have like these near tears in their face and like, oh, Chris, I heard you speak 2 years ago or 3 years ago. And it's like, it's crazy. I've had people that literally 10 years after I met them, I still remember you speaking, Chris. Imagine the impact you make when people remember you 10 years later. Crazy, right? So simple step number 2. What you will learn in module 2 is how to leverage 9 revenue streams as a speaker to make 6 or 7 figures per year. Number 2 is the foolproof method to picking a topic that clients will repeatedly pay you top dollar for. Repeatedly, it's crazy. It's like an ATM machine. And lastly, this little known secret to create a speaking reel. A speaking reel is essentially clips of yourself speaking that draws high ticket clients like clockwork. You really want to have a system that goes on and on, systematized way to get clients and speaking. It's just awesome, okay? Simple step number 3, module 3 is how do you speak at Fortune 500 companies, even without an N? I kind of told you that in secret number 2, but I'll just dive more deeper. Second one is the easiest way to leverage online platforms. Remember, public speaking isn't just offline, but it's also online. To speak to the masses and inspire thousands at a time. Remember, Dragana, she spoke 2,400 views. It's crazy. And lastly, how speaking bureaus can land you high-ticket speaking gigs on autopilot without doing any work. I remember I literally got a call from one of the most esteemed speaking bureaus. She was like the founder, and she emails and contacts me. I didn't do any work. Crazy. Next is module 4, simple step number 4. How do you land your first speech within the next 7 days, even if you have no contacts right now? Number 2 is how do you contact decision makers online, and what's the one simple sentence you can ask or make so that they respond and hire you? And lastly, what's the one simple trick to getting clients in your own backyard? So just simple things, okay? And then lastly, simple step number 5, module 5 is how, main points, the 3 near hypnotizing words Steve Jobs used to sell millions of iPhones from stage, and how you can do the same yourself. Pretty cool, huh? 3 near hypnotizing words. Number 2 is how do you use social media to generate 6 figures per year, even if you're starting with little or no following? That's one of the biggest myths people have. And then lastly, learn the exact keynote speech outline that makes billionaires, executives, and celebrities give you testimonials without hesitation. I've done this so many times, and it's so crazy. It's like almost like magic, but it's not. It's methodology. It's really, really cool. It's a great thing. And you get lifetime access. So type in the chat box if this is cool. Put yes, 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 please. Show me some love. Antonio says yes. Awesome. Jeremy says yes. Thank you so much. Monique says yes. Kirsten, yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much for the love. I really, really appreciate it. I really, really appreciate it. So this is why I've kept it really simple, okay? Some people ask me, well, Chris, really, it's really that simple? 5 simple steps? Yeah. This is why my clients love me, because I do a lot of research. I do a lot of research. I spend over 10,000 hours doing this stuff. And here's a guy named Hermann Ebbinghaus, German psychologist. He literally studied this stuff. This is called the forgetting curve. And it's really about, you have to really know that it's based on empirical evidence, where we forget more than 40% of what we learn, actually 60% of what we learn in an hour, 70% in a day, and 80% in a month. So just imagine, we've already forgotten 80% of what we learn in a month. So you have to remember that I'm giving you that 20%, the top 20% that gets you the most value, the most credibility, and the most difference. So just remember that the reason why my program is just 5 simple steps, because most of us will forget everything. But for you, just remember that you have to make sure that you meet people that have empirically based data, and my program is based on that. So just keep in mind that I created this so that you have only the top level stuff, that you're gonna forget a lot of stuff. I wish I can say, oh, Chris, I love your presentation. I'm gonna forget stuff, but I'll remember a lot. But this is actual science. So just know the reason why it's so simple is because I want you to remember it, but more importantly, I want you to apply. Now, how do I know this works? How do I know this works? Well, let's look at the results. Let's look at the results, okay? Jesse, what do you think? Jesse, what do you think? Jesse was shocked. He said that, you know, your advice is not theory. It's very direct and purposeful. And he literally, within 2 days, people always ask me, well, Chris, how quickly can I make money? You know, when you position yourself as a speaker, you know, you just have more of this presence and mindset. So within 2 days, he got back his money and he got his first client. And he says, you know, change your life. And it's not a coincidence that everyone keeps saying the same thing, because I'm really forward about my advice, its methodology. Within a month, he got 10 clients. And guess what? He paid zero marketing dollars. You know, he can get 10 clients but spend a lot of money on acquisition, but he had paid zero and he's made tens of thousands of dollars. That's why he has this big happy smile on his face. With Adam, Adam's such a rock star. You know, he says that he's secured tens of thousands of dollars, and I have to constantly update my video testimonials because Adam has traveled to seven cities and he has a top selling book. But Adam is another rock star. He's earned so much money, tens of thousands of dollars. Dragan we talked about before. She says that it's like one of the best investments she's made, and she's a coach. So remember, coaching and speaking is not just offline; it's also online. Keith, you know, some of my clients are more on the experience side, where Keith has built out literally 50 plus companies over 30 years. He's raised $500 million. But the thing that I most love about working with clients and with my GPS program is when I get all these crazy testimonies, like Keith is like, I just secured us mid six-figure deal thanks to Chris's help and his GPS program. This is what I live for. I live for these actual testimonials because I'm making an impact in people's lives, whether they're really new, they're in the program, or they're in their career for a little time, or in Keith's case, he's a seasoned executive. Or Shazad, she's only 21, as I mentioned. She read book 10 speeches, and she spoke at IKEA. And when she says things like, you know, design and systematize, it's just really cool that whether you're really experienced like Keith or not as experienced as Shazad, the fundamentals are the same. And it's just so amazing to have people that are constantly telling me these amazing things. Amanda has spoke 10 speeches. In her case, she spoke at Solar City. She told me at one point, yeah, I'm speaking at some kind of like solar company. I'm like, well, which one? Find out the name. Okay, cool. And she's like, Solar City. I'm like, Amanda, you know that Solar City is Elon Musk's company, right? She's like, oh, really? I'm like, yeah, it's like awesome, right? I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool. So just know that it's just so possible and so real. And look at Chris and Eric. You know, some of my clients are already making some good money, but I help them with their branding and just letting them understand how important it is to brand. So Chris and Eric, they literally have had over 1,000 clients teaching people fitness stuff online. So you would think you need a gym, but in their case, you don't. So this is kind of crazy, right? Ellen, I mentioned it before. She literally thanked me twice for one, changing her life on my book on networking, and two, for changing my life as a speaker. When I met up with her last year in Lithuania, I didn't even know she was speaking. And like, this is amazing, right? She's made over millions of dollars for her online program. And as a speaker, just builds her confidence. And it's just so inspiring. And lastly, we have Eric. Eric's one of my rock stars. He's one of my private clients outside GPS, but the concepts I teach in GPS or outside GPS, because, you know, again, remember, I used to be a American Express guy. I used to work there. I used to build out global sales decks. I've had clients that make $100 million. So the methodology that I use, he's referring to in this statement, really, it's about the fact that I know my stuff because I've been doing this for a long time. And in Eric's case, the guy is just a beast. And he was even featured on the Inc. 5000 where he made $5+ million, and I helped him early on. So it's just really, really inspiring. Again, it's just so gratifying to know you can help so many people. In the first year alone, we've already helped over 100 entrepreneurs from 18 countries. And so when you join us, it's just this phenomenal community where you can be a part of. You're actually helping us build a community from ground up. So I really, really, really am excited to help you live your dreams, to inspire, to travel. And we literally have so many testimonials, I can't even keep track. I always want to make sure I applaud, promote, and really support what we call gifters, because your story is a gift to the world. So every single speaker in our program is called a gifter. And so look at all these gifters. Look at all these speakers that this is just the month, you know, whether they're speaking in IKEA or publishing new articles. You know, Ernest has a travel show. It's just crazy. Yan is an employee, but she's building her confidence. You know, all these amazing things are just phenomenal. So I'm always posting and supporting you because I want you to be successful. And how can you be successful? I'm not applauding you. And it's just important to know that I got your back is what I'm saying, okay? I got your back. So this is all the value you're getting. The whole value of this program is $19,997. It's based on 17 years of experience, 1,000 presentations from all these various companies that I've learned from. It's all codified into $19,000, $997. It's a lot of value, a lot of value. Now, I know you like bonuses, so though the program itself is already crazy valued, but are you ready for your bonuses? Please type in the chat box if you are ready for your bonuses. Let's see if people are ready. Kevin is ready. Awesome. Torrance is ready. Thank you so much. Becky is ready. Ed Awesome, George. Awesome. A lot of, okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. You ready for the bonuses? So, first bonus is this. Now, when I first started the program, I focused on speaking, and then people started asking me about online stuff and online programs. So I just put a lot of other additional things about salesmanship skills, and like, you know, some of my videos are shorter, but some of them are longer. But what I'm getting at is I just added all these various extra complementary things that can help you really scale up your business and understand how you brand yourself. The value is $9,997. And let me show you into more deeps, into actual examples, right? These are actual private coaching calls, which cost a lot of money, but I wanted to give this video vault. So whether it's like how to handle objections, how do you add friends on Facebook, how do you research your speaker, how do you determine your fee, all these things that I was asked, all the questions you might have about, you know, how do you create a brand that stands out, or let's say, you know, 3 proven ways to be effective communicators. So yes, I'll teach you how to be a better communicator. More importantly, I'll teach you how to get paid to be a better communicator. But all these different things are really about giving you extra value, extra content, extra step-by-step process. I even get so granular that I tell you, you know, what are the 10 basic hardware and software essentials, right? And so it's just these simple things that you can really, really, really use that are actionable that you can apply right now, okay? Now, these are just in case you couldn't see those little screenshots, but it really is step-by-step process. And sometimes I literally can tell someone how to create an online coaching program, modeling as a speaker, the 5 simple ways to create an online coaching program, right? So just know that it could be possible and simple if you have someone like myself who's done this for a long time with a lot of credibility and a lot of actual experience, right? So the program itself is $19,997 with the exclusive video vault. That's $9,997 of value. So you're getting $29,994 of value, but there's more. The thing is, I really want you to be successful. And I'm doing these live group video calls. And if you go to some other programs that don't do that, I do this because, and this is for limited time only, by the way. Like I don't want to promise and overpromise that I'll always be doing this, but for now, you sign up now, you're going to get 1 or 2 live group calls. You have real time with me, so you can ask questions where I've literally helped people with one simple question get that gig. And it's that awesome because in this case, let's say Joseph, he ended up speaking at Lockheed Martin, but I helped him create his online coaching program within 15 minutes. And the online coaching was the same type of program for speech. So he was shocked that I could be that quick, that nimble, that specific. And I kind of tell him I'm like a Navy SEAL, you know, because I'm really specific. And we created this rockstar way of crushing stress. So that has a value of $3,997. So you're getting $33,994 of value. You get the program, you get bonus number 1 with the vote, with all these various things, with the sales aspect, which is one of the single most important things you need to know to be a paid speaker. You get live access to me. So when people always say, oh, well, we have access to you. Yeah, we're going to have these live calls every single month. So just make sure you know that you get real time with me. Next is bonus number 3 is a value of $1,997, where for 6 months you'll be part of our Facebook group. So again, more support, more real time with me. And get this, I always want to add so much value. Like, oh my gosh, it's almost like all this crazy amazing. It's like just inundation of like a waterfall, right? I often post things of free events. The event where I spoke at Hope Global Forum, I invited one of my gifters. Let's say Amanda was there at Tai Lopez. I got her into the VIP lunch. You know, it's about staying inspired. You know, our group is very, very, very active. So we're applauding each other. We're referring different clients to each other. We're answering questions. And really, it's a safe place. I encourage you, the first thing you do is to post a Facebook Live for 45 seconds because it's about doing things you can do now. Not tomorrow, not next week, not next year. It's about doing it now. So I just say keep it simple. All I want to do is hear a 45-second video on Facebook Live where you just press a button and just share who you are, where you're from, what you might want to talk about. If you know, if you don't know, it's okay. That's what we're here for, your program, for the program. And lastly, you know, one fun fact. You know, one fun fact from me is like I used to be a singer-songwriter, and I've done a lot of songs for a lot of people. Business tips you'll get. And lastly, what I love is vacation ideas. You know, I'll give a little confession. Like every time I hear someone who's from Switzerland or Singapore, I'm like, this is cool. We have more vacation spots, you know. And the last thing I want to share is geese fly in a V formation because they get to the goal 71% faster. So when you're in a group, the reason why we're so successful, like I knew that my program would do well. I'm just floored at how well it does so quickly and so immediately and so painlessly for some of our clients. And that's so gratifying because we're flying in the V formation. We're as a team, we're as a group, we're as a family. It's really, really cool. And this is one of the most amazing comments ever got. So Mother Teresa once said that loneliness is the worst disease. But if you join our community, our global community, you'll never feel alone unless you want to be, but you'll never feel alone because you found a home. Like Bernard is one of our clients and he's in Hawaii, another vacation spot. He's also a veteran, but he literally said, I truly believe I found a home with GPS. And here's a little cultural aspect. The Chinese language is so beautiful. And the character for home is literally the same character for love. So when you have found a home, you're part of our family, our community, and that is valued at $1,997. So you're getting all this value of the program, the exclusive video vault, the live 1 or 2 calls per month, the Facebook online, the GPS group, and that's a value of $35,488. Just value, 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 value. The next is, you want to obviously be a great salesperson, but you also really want to understand how to be productive. I actually wrote another book called I think a bucket list goal about being more efficient. And it's really like, what are the 4 proven ways to improve your productivity, because it's about having a certain awareness and system to do that. That's valued at $497. And that's just something that I really, really think it's necessary and important. So you're getting $37,479 of value, 4 bonuses with addition to the program, obviously. And this is the thing I love. I mean, people love me sharing the story about Elon Musk. Like for so many times, whenever they hear me that Elon Musk is one of the most inspiring entrepreneurs, he's going to be one of the most inspiring entrepreneurs in the next 1,000 years, okay? He was there on the Time magazine, the 100 most influential. I interviewed him, one of the coolest moments of my life where I actually even got him to compliment me. And I'm going to share an exclusive video training, very just to the point video on 3 networking tips that he taught me and that he's going to teach you now, $497. And you're getting all this value. So it's $37,982, 5 bonuses, but wait, one final one is this. You know what the final bonus is? You've all been so gracious to be on this amazing presentation. I just feel like I already know you, even though I don't. But want to know what the last final bonus is? Please type in yes in the chat box. Yes, Monique says, awesome. Michelle, awesome. Man, I got so many amazing followers. Michael, yes. Tim, yes. Awesome. Carlos, yes. Cool, cool, cool. Okay. So the bonus is this, my book. As I said before, it's a #1 best on Amazon. The rankings change quite often, like literally every hour. But to be a #1 on Amazon, there's like, I think over a million Kindles. And so you get this book for free. And I call it priceless because really it took me so much time, like 20 plus years to find out these events really at this level. And now see, here's the thing. If you want to put a price on it, these are actual name tags of conferences I've been to. Sometimes I've gone on a press pass in the past. I'm a speaker. But my point is, if you add up all those press passes, if you add up all these passes as a speaker or a private investor, it's over tens of thousands of dollars, okay, for these admissions. So for me to invest in this money, some of them I paid for, some I got invited. But the point is, it's a lot of value in a book. And that's why it's priceless. And sometimes seeing is believing. Here's the Milken Conference. I've been through it for years. It costs $12,500 for 1 ticket. So imagine the opportunity you get when you become a speaker. It's crazy. I've gotten multiple clients into the event. And so you're getting all this value, $19,997 for the program. You have the exclusive video vault, the live calls, the group in Facebook, the private group. You have the video for productivity. You have the networking tips from billionaire Elon Musk. And lastly, the priceless Amazon bestseller. So you're getting a value of $37,982. I mean, it's kind of a crazy. And now you can see why I charge $20,000. Remember before I said about how you get a speaking bureau and you get clients on clockwork? I literally had a Fortune 500 company, actually it's a Fortune 10 company, reach out to this speaking bureau founder, and she reaches out to me, and now she put me and she's repping me as a speaking bureau. And look at Mr. Brian Tracy. He's one of the top people in the world, and he is getting this amount of money that I'm getting. And as I mentioned to you before, I'm already getting paid more than $20,000. I have to actually change this, but what I'm saying is, you can see why I charge $20,000 for a 1-hour speech. And that's what I teach my clients. So you're getting all this crazy, amazing value. And, so let me ask you this question, okay? What if you were to get paid $1,000 just for your first speech? Remember, I got paid $50 for my first speech. So if I can do it, you can absolutely do that. So you're getting a 20x return more than I was if you were to get paid $1,000 for your first speech. Now, here are actual negotiated speaking fees for my beginning clients, okay? I see some of these other programs and they're like, oh, I'm going to give you hypothetical. I'm like, I'm giving you actual examples of people in my program who I help negotiate their first. So in this case, she has negotiated a $3,000 case. This woman negotiated $40,000. First it's $3,000, then it's $4,000. She's just bragging about, I made a 60x return on you. Like, awesome, awesome, awesome. Nick is a 21-year-old gifter. He made $6,500 for his first paid gig. I mean, how crazy is that? And that person ended up securing a current retainer. So he's going to make tens of thousands of dollars minimum. And I helped him just build his confidence on how to speak better for clients because he's a little nervous, okay? But that's crazy, right? And one of our clients in Hong Kong, she's talking about billionaires, and like one of her first speeches that she negotiated was $20,000 for her first paid speech. It's a crazy, 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 crazy. So let's say you average out all these various first speech negotiations. I'm going to stress first speech. Remember, I got paid $30 for my first speech, but if you average out all this out, on average, and yeah, not all my gifters are getting this amount for the first speech, but I'm kind of giving you, specific examples, but not all of them clearly, right? Like not all of my clients make money, but I want to mention you that a lot of my clients do get great results. So $8,375 for the average price for these average speaking negotiations for the first speech, right? So even if you were to pay and invest $5,000, you still profit. You still make $3,375. And if you had extra 3G in your pocket, what would you do with that, huh? Oh, maybe you'll travel to places like Amsterdam or Dublin or Toronto, Maybe you go to Paris. Maybe you go to the States. Who knows where you go, but ticket prices are pretty affordable now. But if you have 3G in your pocket, you can do whatever you want. Pretty cool, right? So what if all this did was really, what if it was just you being in the community? I just meet so many people that are alone. I meet so many people distraught. I meet so many people that are kind of sad and depressed. I'm like, because they're afraid to just open up and be vulnerable. Like I was to you before, I was saying I got punished for being in school and now I got paid, or, I got teased for being short, So what if only you were in the program and you were just part of this program where you got free events, and this happens all the time. I'm here to support you and help you grow and I really care for you. So what if only you're just part of our community? I mean, that alone, like sometimes actually one of our clients, she signed up about a year ago and didn't really hear from her for a while. And then she really says, oh my God, Chris, I did my online coaching program and she's speaking more. Like, it's just so cool. So we're all at a different stage and it's okay. But remember, Mother Teresa once said, loneliness is the worst disease. You don't have to be lonely. And remember, your network based on network science is the #1 best predictor for success. I wrote a #1 bestselling Amazon book on networking. So what if only you got that? You're part of a family and a community, and come on, like we need that, right? So just reminding you, the program itself costs $19,997, all these various bonuses, and the whole value is $37,982. And you're getting all this crazy, amazing bonuses. And remember what Dragana said, that investing in the GPS program has been one of the best decisions I have ever made. GPS has changed my life. It's just, I'm just so blessed. And that's what's going to happen to you. Remember, you're going to make money. These are actual client examples of first speech negotiations. This is amazing, right? So the original investment for my GPS program was $1,990. And this is kind of like a little, like when you look at how people pay money, at one point I got into NYU, you paid $200,000+. And so even if, again, yes, it's $5,000 or $2,000, you're getting a steal because you can actually apply that. This is the value you're getting. But we're going to offer it to you for $997 because I wanted to bring in more people. Here's a link you can go to. Make sure you check out this link and really join a community, join a family, because it's so important that you just start off with a great mindset and you just build people around you, because I see so many people that are struggling. I mean, so many people that want to do this, but they're not, because they're not investing the money and time. And more importantly, they're not finding the coach or mentor or the community to help them, like the flock of geese, So it's only $997. People ask me all the time, Chris, you can charge a lot more than that, because remember, I charged $20,000 for a 1-hour speech, and I know that. But as I said to you before, when I wrote my Big Game Hunting book about networking, I literally dedicated that book to anyone who's ever felt like an outsider. And I really meant that. Same thing with this program. You know, when the book came out, I traveled all around the world, even all these wealth managers and really successful people hiring me. And I was kind of laughing and smirking because that was not the point of why I wrote the book. I wrote the book to help people that felt outside, just like with this program, this GPS program. I want to help people that aren't millionaires yet, but want to be millionaires. I want to help people that don't like their job, but want to quit the job to be a business owner. I want to help people that are already speakers, but they want to make more money and make more impact. I want to help people that are authors that want to share the story with the world. So know that for an investment of that sort, I wish I had this, because remember, I spent 15 plus years codifying all this stuff. I made so many mistakes. And I think Warren Buffett once said, like, you know, you want to learn from other people's mistakes. It's so much more easier. So really, the investment is insane. The value you're getting is $37,982. And I put it in a way that it's so simple and specific. And you have the video vault to really fill in some of the gaps. And really the community is so huge. And no one does what I do on my level with speaking or networking. No one, because people who are networking billionaires, they don't need to network anymore. Remember, I grew up with no access, no connections, no community growing up in terms of the access points. And somehow I figured it all out, right? That's why you have the book, you have the program. Sometimes people say, oh, Chris, you know, I can't make that investment now. But look, for a limited time only, I don't know when I'm going to remove these installments. But for now, if let's say $997 is too much for now, well, look, installment plans are $375 for 3 months or $299 for 4 months. But again, this is for limited time offer only for the installments, because it's really about going all in. And I'll do it for now, but ultimately, I don't know how long I'm going to last for these installments. But if, let's say, you go to the website, oh, Chris, you said the installments. Look, that's why I'm saying it's limited time only. And it says it in bold letters there. So just make sure you do your best and take action now, okay? Now, there is a warranty. Refund is possible, but it's an action-based warranty, which essentially means it's a digital program. You're going to get access, okay? You get access and you apply, you take it. And you know what? You have to at least tell me that you went through all 5 modules and you write a synopsis and a summary, because, you know, it's like you have to do the work, because if you don't do the work and you expect the results, you're not going to get there, right? So 30-day action-based guarantee. But really, if you're already thinking about a refund, we don't want you in a program. Speakers need to be decisive. Speakers need to be a person of giving. And sometimes I meet people, they're already asking for refunds. I'm like, you know what? No, you don't even deserve to be in a program. I've literally blocked people when they don't have a mindset to be a person of integrity and of giving. So therefore, yes, there's an online refund policy, but if you're thinking about it already, you're probably not the best fit for our program, because we want to build a community of givers, okay? So it's time for you to make the decision now. Do nothing or die with the single most common regret. There's a woman named Bronnie Ware, and she literally would help and guide and comfort people at their last few days, few weeks, or few months of their life. And she found that the single most important regret that all these people who, before they passed away, was they wish they had the courage to live the life that's true to themselves and not the life that other people expected them. And I'm going to stress, you have to be uncomfortable. You have to step out of your level. You have to be courageous. And even when you look at your muscles, when you're building your muscles, you know, you have to break the muscles to get bigger muscles. So you're going to either do nothing, which a lot of people might do, but I believe in you that you're going to not have the biggest regret. And I've traveled so much around the world. I'm seeing people on the chat box already saying, you know, you're right, Chris. I am right, Eric. And it's really sad. It's not about knowing it's not about knowing everything. It's about having the courage, right? So you do nothing, or you're going to die with the single most important regret. And I don't want you to do that. Look at Steve Jobs, one of the most iconic figures in the world. He said this in his commencement speech. He's like, remembering that I will die soon is the single most important tool I have ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life. I'm going to stress, single most important thing. This is why it's so important to learn from people that are doing what you want to do, because you're not going to do it otherwise, okay? Steve Jobs, one of the most inspiring leaders. And, you know, again, he's talking about death. It's about not a morbid thing, but just cease the moment, okay? And let's say, say, Chris, you know what? I want to do it on my own. All right, great. You want to do it on your own? Well, you know what? I will tell you point blank. What people love about me, a lot of things actually, I don't need to pat my back sometimes. People are laughing, having an LOA. You know, Liz, come on, just give me my moment, okay, Liz, okay? But I'm telling you this because if you try to do it yourself, you will suffer. I suffered pain and frustration and thousands of rejections, and you're probably not going to succeed. You want to know what's going to happen? For 15 plus years, you know, I'm like, oh, I'm going to write a book and it's going to be a number one New York Times bestseller. That didn't happen. Oh, I'm going to write my first book and make a lot of money. That didn't happen. Oh, I'm going to write a speech and people are going to hear it. That didn't happen. Oh, I'm going to create a website. Like, again, all the things you look on this screen about creating a website and promoting my speech, creating a one sheet, being at the right network events, all these things I thought, I wasted thousands of hours, years of my life, got thousands of rejection letters, okay? This is what's going to happen if you do it on your own. And just please, I'm telling you, this is what rejection looks like, okay? If you look at this screenshot and look at what time, I would pitch people over and over and over again at 10 o'clock at night, at 10:40, at 11:51 at night, at 2 in the morning. And so you just multiply this by 100 times, and that's what you're gonna have to deal with. The pain you're gonna suffer through if you try to do it yourself, because trying to get paid as a speaker, 1,000, 5,000, I can tell you one thing in 1 minute that I learned over 17 plus years. And that's why my clients love me so much. And that's why I believe you will choose courage. I believe you will choose courage to find this program inspiring, valuable, to travel around the world. 5 simple steps. I believe you choose courage. Start clicking on that link now, okay? Click on the link now. I believe you will choose adventure. I believe you will choose adventure and go to places like Australia. These are actual clients. That's Cameron and Zoe. So click on that link now. I believe you will choose adventure. It's just so fun. I believe you choose compassion. You know, I mean, all these people in life that keep saying, oh, you got to do well in life. You got to help people, but they don't show examples. I created the world's most unique homeless youth program in the worst part of town in Los Angeles, where we help and inspire homeless kids every single week. I started it over 7 years ago. And here's Chris and Eric sharing and inspiring their story with these kids that are homeless. So remember, it's possible. Here is I choose free events. I believe you would choose free events. Here's Malika, who wanted to meet the people there, and so she did, and I got her there for free. I believe you will choose community. This is where I got our first gifters to the Fortune 500 company. There is one of our gifters named Mikey. He's in a wheelchair, but he's one of the most inspiring stories. But I believe you choose community. We're already in 100 cities, 90 countries for conscience. Click on that link and start joining our program. I believe you choose financial freedom. How amazing is it to get paid $30,000 for 1 gig? I mean, you do 3 of those a month, you're already clearing $1 million. I mean, just think about this. Remember where I started. I got paid $50 for my first speech. So it's just crazy what's possible if you find the right mentors and you find the right program. So it's important, okay? So you will save yourself 15 years of pain when you join a program, because I can't tell you how many years it took me. A lot, right? But it's really in the last 17 months that I've learned how to crack the 10,000 hour code. So save yourself 15 years of pain, suffering, rejection, thousands of hard knock lessons by learning the 5 simple steps. Click on this link. This is all the value I mentioned. You get $37,982 of value, and it's only $997. It's going to be the best investment in your life. Don't take my word for it. Remember what Dragana said. Remember what Ernest said. Remember what Albert said. All these people are saying it's life-changing. And remember, I know that, frankly, $997 might be a lot of money, but for a limited time only, you can get installments for $375 for 3 months or $299 for 4 months. So just know, click on the link now, and you will get to change people's lives. I'm going to end with a few final things. I'm so grateful for you to be on this awesome presentation. Choose making a lasting difference. Remember I said earlier that people remember you? This is a woman named Ina that remembered me years later and sent me an email saying, you know what, meeting was a life-changing experience. She literally went back home, told her husband, told her kids, told her daughter, told everyone. And this is the things you're going to get over and over again, okay? So this is the impact you make. And remember, we share a similar story. I got paid $50. I got punished, and that's my 4'10" self. And I got to meet and got him to tell me that, why you know a lot, but you can do it too. And here's the thing where I said early on, I want to keep my promise. The one simple question I asked to secure my last $30,000 speech is, what is your budget for hiring outside speakers? What is your budget for hiring outside speakers? Yes, Craig's saying that's a very simple question in the chat box. It is simple. But remember, I've been doing this for a long time. You get to know them, you find out about the conference, it's all about service. But at one point, you have to say, what is your budget? Because the reason why you say budget is because as soon as you say budget, they already see you as a professional speaker. And remember, my GPS program stands for the Gifted Professional Speaker Program. It's not the amateur program, it's professional. Because if you don't let them know that you're asking for a budget, they're not going to see you as a professional speaker. And that one simple question works every single time for every client, because if they don't know you're a professional, how are they going to know to pay you, right? So that works for a $10,000 gig, a $30,000 gig. And when I secure even bigger gigs, at least for speaking, I've secured a lot larger consultant gigs. It's the same thing. Okay. So important. Now, remember Uncle Warren? He does not have his college diploma certificate on his wall. He doesn't have his master's degree from Columbia University, one of the most esteemed colleges in the world. He has his public speaking certificate on his wall because it literally told him it changed his life when he was 20 years old. And remember, Warren Buffett has said, one of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world, that public speaking is a skill that is necessary, because if you don't have it, it's a liability. And think about this. You invest in a program, you have the modules, you have all this stuff, and it's a necessity to have this. Look at Warren Buffett, okay? And when you are in our program, this is your future, you will have the GPS certificate hung up on your wall to remember that you can speak, you can travel, you can inspire, because you've successfully completed our GPS online speaker training program. It's time to make a decision. As I said to you before, you do nothing and die with the single most important regret, which is, oh, I wish I had the courage, but I believe you will choose to be a gifter today. I believe you'll see all this crazy, amazing value where no one has this kind of program, where they have the speaking program, the branding, the sales, and a networking book, a networking system where I've built up all these years. So $9.97, buy it now. This is the link. As I generally start doing this, people start funneling in, buying it. This is awesome, okay? So as people are going to this link, you buy and join our program, but I'll answer some questions right now. So go ahead and type in the chat box if you have any questions. So let's see. Okay, Adam has a question. Adam says, really, you really don't have to be a great speaker? No, like I said to you before, Elon Musk is not a great speaker. Eckhart Tolle is not a great speaker. You have Stephen Hawking is not a great speaker. Remember, like Ellen, she openly says, and she literally has trolls online saying that her English is horrible. It gives her so many props, so much applause, accolades, because she is not a great speaker, but she still is getting paid as a speaker through online programs, and it's inspiring to see her, Any other questions? How long does it take? I mean, like I said, like Jesse, he made back his money in 2 days, okay? He was shocked himself. I did one of the private calls with him, and he was like so shocked because I walked him through step by step how to do that. And that's the personalized attention from now, limited time only, on those 1 or 2 group video calls, which is live. Doesn't matter where you are. But Jesse was shocked at how quickly you could make money back, and more importantly, create a program. Let's see what else. Other questions. Let's see. Okay, Shrees asked, do you need a big following on social media? No, I have one client, Shay, who's based in Kansas. I think she has maybe 1,000 friends. And the last time I heard, she posted that she spoke at a conference, so social media is not necessary in terms of having a big following. Of course, in time, you want to grow a big following. Am I too young? Like you're 22. Like, well, I already told you, Shazad, she's joined that program when she was 20 years old. And now she's rocking it. She's already secured 10 speeches. And even like I said before, if you're too old, I shouldn't say too old. I mean, we're either older or younger, right? I mean, age is all relative. I mean, Keith, I think, is in his 50s, but like, it doesn't matter whether you're older or younger. A lot of the questions I get asked, they just keep kind of focusing on the same questions. Like, oh, Chris, I got to write a book first. Oh, Chris, I got to be a speaker first. But I already allayed some of those concerns early on in the presentation where, look, it's about being a good speaker with a great message. But most importantly, as I said, the bottom line is it's really about what value, what solution are you giving someone's problem? What solution are you providing for someone's problem to solve the problem? That's the single most important thing I keep piling home over and over and over in the program, whereas I teach the business side. I teach the sales, psychology, and the methodology side where I get so many crazy results. Awesome. Pedro just signed up for my program. Thank you so much, Pedro. Welcome to our program. So again, go to this link, click on this link because there are some limited time offers with the calls and the installment plans are limited. So just make sure I've already answered some questions. Go on the link. Awesome. Alan, welcome. Alan just said that I just signed up. I'm super stoked. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Who else do we have? Cool, Matt. Thank you so much for signing up. So again, I am going to end this call. I just really, really, really appreciate you being on this. It's just so amazing. I'm just so grateful for all of your time. And remember what I said, you don't want to regret life because I just meet so many people that regret things, but you really want to know that you have one life, you have one chance, you have one opportunity to really just dive in there, be part of a community, and you really are helping us build a community from ground up. So thank you so much. Oh, Craig, awesome. Thank you so much for signing up for our program. So again, thank you so much. Click on a link. I'm so grateful for you, and I'm so thankful and happy, and I look forward to seeing you in our community in a very, very, very short period of time. Thank you so much.